Last week was disastrous, and it's been quite a long time since I had such a continuous disastrous losses. But if I'm being honest right here, most of those was because I made a mistakes that I did back in my rookie days, and somehow I made the same mistakes again. So in this video, guys, I plan on discussing the mistakes I made and why once again people get into the old habits in trading. So back in the days, right, when I was learning and when I was practicing my model, my risk strategy and so on, each time the market would move up, I would actually move my SL further below down so that I wouldn't lose much. But when you think about it, right, it doesn't matter whether you're going to make a loss or not. You're risking an amount that you're okay to lose. And let's say for an example that you risk $100, you're okay with it, you're okay to lose that. And going for break even and stuff, I think that is why most people get stuck in break even, and that was something that I used to do, and I think that was my primary reason for being in break even apart from my psychology and stuff. But trade wise, last week I had some similar issues. Last week market was quite choppy, even though my analysis was correct and my trade did hit TP. But after taking my SL, that was primarily because I moved my SL to break even, and each time I moved my SL to break even, it hit the break even and then it went for my SL. So I had like four trades busted just because I kept it at break even last week. Even though my analysis, my model, my entry, my risk, everything was perfect, I guess I made a mistake last week, and this week again, Monday, as you guys would have seen, Monday is not going pretty good. And yesterday, Tuesday, right, that was also quite a choppy market. And I noticed that no matter which level you get in trading, you're always going to come back to a stage where you have that fear, you have that psychology issue. But when you reach a certain point of level, right, you understand why this is happening and what's happening in your psychology, and you just don't react manually each time. So since I have been in training for 3 years and it's been quite an experience, I was able to notice that from last week as well as yesterday's trade, right, how these things have affected my own psychology. And I have been fine tuning from Sunday. I mean, I've just reviewed all my trades, got to know where I made the mistake, and I think I'm at an understanding level right now that no matter what happens, I am okay to risk it. But the thing is, no matter what the market is going to play out, it's going to affect my psychology, and especially Tuesday's market did affect my psychology a lot. But even though it did, I made my profits. So because I was able to acknowledge and I was able to understand why the following structures and why the market was moving in such a direction and why it affected my own psychology. So once you guys develop that kind of understanding of your own self, and it takes time, but once you do, I'm sure that you guys would also be able to understand and let the market play out. Because if your analysis, if your model, and if you follow your rules, that means if you are perfect when it comes to executing your specific trade, then there is a 90% guarantee that the market will give you a TP. Once you enter the trade, it's after all, it's all just psychological game. It's going to play with you, it's going to tease you. But if your specific model, if your specific entry criteria is correct and you have been following it and you know that you'll hit the TP, it is logically correct, then I think you guys should just pack up your emotions, place it somewhere else, and just sit down, stay calm as possible, and just wait it out. There's no other way for you to just sit down calmly, because sometimes, and I'm telling this seriously, that sometimes the market is gonna get choppy. It's not gonna go smooth every single time. Sometimes it's gonna go for your 50% of the TP, then reverse until your entry point, and then go one shot manner to your targeted profits. So you have to wait it as long as your specific entry is correct and you're logically correct in a specific trade, right? You know where the liquidity points are. I think you're pretty much safe. Until then, the market is going to tease you, but there's nothing you can do about it. You will have to manage your own psychology. There's nothing literally that no one can teach you about how to master your psychology, because that is completely up to you. No matter what you learn online, no matter what you try to practice and stuff, you cannot master your psychology unless you have actually had experience in the market. It's something that is gained through experience, and it's not something that you can learn. So it's gonna take you guys some time. And for people who have had tough time the recent days, this is my word of advice, or a friendly advice to you guys, that just stay calm. I know it affects your psychology and it might hurt you guys that you guys are losing, but make sure that your trade, your entry, and your model works, and that every time you enter the market, it is logically correct and you know where the liquidity point is. So you you can guarantee, you can sit down guaranteed that the market will go. And even if the market doesn't go, right, sometimes that happen. Monday's trade actually have that's what happened for me, and but it was a correct trade. Sometimes the market doesn't go. There are reasons for it, because you do not have enough liquidity to push forward or push downwards, and sometimes it just reverses and goes down to grab a liquidity, and the entire day might be just an what I usually call it as snipe and destroy, but in common terms I think people would call it rabbit market or just a sideways market. But either ways, if it's going to be snipe and destroy, right, you're going to get destroyed either way. So I would just say that accept your losses, know for sure that your setup is correct as well as your entry is correct, and learn to manage your psychology. It all starts with effort, and it's going to get better with experience. Actually, that's nice. It's going to start with effort and it's going to get better with experience. So I think that is the best way I can put it to you guys. And see you guys this week, Saturday, where we'll have a review session.